Hello and welcome everybody to time travel. That's right, we're going back and forth and to and fro in time. That's what we do here. This is our specialty here at The Vintage Golfer. So first, let's explore the late 80s, early 90s. Okay, Taylormade, a company that many people are familiar with, made this. All right, this is Tour Preferred Pittsburgh Persimmon. Pittsburgh persimmon. And you can see from my head compared to this head, this is tiny. This is itty bitty little, stick to the traditional shape. We don't want to get banned, okay? Fast forward 10 years to 1997, we get, oh dear, look at this. It's a bigger head. This is the Titanium Bubble 2. This is the first time, and people have said this before my time, but for me in my life, this club was where I was introduced to the term tee it high and let it fly. All right. So that was 1997, and it set the stage for future Taylormade clubs. All right. So let's talk about the 2000s. 2000s roll around. You get amazing clubs like this R580. Okay. Continuing with the size trends here, you can see this one's, still a good size, bigger, and look at the face. The Titanium Bubble 2 had very much this, let's just make the club longer and help people out. Whereas Taylormade realized, oh no, people are teeing them high and letting them fly, so we need to make this face deeper. Thank you. Like in the 50s, they realized that at McGregor. So needless to say, Taylormade starting to catch up here. They also introduced something interesting. I have nowhere to put all these clubs. They're just things everywhere here. They also introduced adjustable weights. What? The R7 quad. Do you guys remember this club? Yeah. So you can see, again, very similar. Like I noticed the Taylormade symbol has changed a tiny bit, but they still put it there for your alignment aid. So this really did have the DNA of a modern driver. Granted, a few little adjustable things here and there. And obviously, with a more modern driver, here's a 2017 Taylormade M2. You can see they've really kind of perfected this look of a modern driver right here, more modern. We have the adjustable hosel, we have the weight in the back, the M1, obviously, the M3 and the M5 all have a lot more adjustability than like the M2, 4, 6 even series. So Taylormade, making some progress. It all started way back in the 80s. Let's see if I can find this. It all started back in I think actually the late 70s, through the 80s and 90s, to the Titanium Bubble 2, the second version of it. To me, every time I see this, it just reminds me of a turtle, just the way it's kind of compact and rounded at the top. Either way, we need to get this on the chopping block and have a closer look. Oh, this brings back memories. I used to my friend's dad had one of these, and we used to take this out to the range. This was before I was like golfing for scores, just like going to the range and stuff. And I remember this club. I'll talk about why here in a minute. Taylormade Titanium Bubble 2, easy to recognize, easy to identify. It's in titanium. It's not like that's going to wear out. 10.5, and the steering wheel logo right here. Gotta love a steering wheel. Before they had huge airbags that they would put in there. The face, kind of a longer face, could be a little bit deeper, I think. But again, in future versions of Taylormade drivers, they have it perfectly proportioned, so no complaints. Look at this disco party here on top. That is so glittery. So when we would take this to the range, I hated duffing shots because everybody watched you when you had one of these when they were new. You're like, look how, oh my goodness, everybody can see this. The space shuttle could see this. And when you would miss one, everybody would be like, ooh, whoa, how's that new driver working out for you? Yeah, lots of fun memories. Thanks for making it so loud, Taylormade. And then as we look through the hosel, somewhere on here, I think there's a serial number. I felt it with my fingers and I can't see through. Oh, I can kind of see it. Serial number right here. Nice plain ferrule. I always love Taylormade plain ferrules. They do such a good job keeping that understated. And of course, if we have the Bubble 2, we need the Bubble 2 shaft. Thanks a lot. Again, great piece of engineering there, Taylormade. It's just a joke. I never minded these shafts, unless I was going to get them re-gripped. Original grip, because who dare replace a bubble shaft grip? So, for the sake of memories, let's get this out on the range. When these came out, they were just right up there with the Great Big Bertha, the Cobra Titanium, lots of other great titanium clubs coming out at the time. But this one, I think it's because the color just stood out. It looked massive by the ball and gave me personally tons of confidence when I was winding up to swing. So a classic, and I think the steps to greatness are missed so often. And this is not the best club ever made. It's just a step to where we are now with Taylormade, to things like the R7, the 580, or the M series that we get from Taylormade. Let me know your thoughts about the Taylormade series of drivers, particularly the Titanium Bubble 2, an often forgotten step in the Taylormade era, the bright copper finishes. If you want to support this channel, you can visit my Amazon shop in the links in the description below. Please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I am The Vintage Golfer.